When the nation speaks, the roundtable listen. Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Join the conversation that matter the most. Live, unfiltered, unapologetic, with local voices and international minds. The roundtable dive deep into today's toughest questions in society, politics, culture. Nothing is off limits. Your voice, your questions, your platform. Live on Wiz TV, featuring top panelists Mr. Samuel Abu, Mr. Hamed Fofana, Mr. Cyrus Gray, Mr. Jai Blamo, and your host, William McGill. Heated debate, eye-opening truths, and real impact. Tune in to the Roundtable every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Only on Wiz TV Live. The Roundtable, where every voice counts. When the nation speaks, the Roundtable listen. Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Join the conversation that matter the most. Live, unfiltered, unapologetic, with local voices and international minds. The Roundtable dive deep into today's toughest questions in society, politics, culture. Nothing is off limits. Your voice, your questions, your platform. Live on Wiz TV, featuring top panelists Mr. Samuel Abu, Mr. Hamed Fofana, Mr. Cyrus Gray, Mr. Jai Blamo, and your host, William McGill. Heated debate, eye-opening truths, and real impact. Tune in to the Roundtable every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Only on Wiz TV Live. The Roundtable, where every voice counts. When the nation speaks, the Roundtable listen. Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Join the conversation that matter the most. Live, unfiltered, unapologetic, with local voices and international minds. The Roundtable dive deep into today's toughest questions in society, politics, culture. Nothing is off limits. Your voice, your questions, your platform. Live on Wiz TV, featuring top panelists Mr. Samuel Abu, Mr. Hamed Fofana, Mr. Cyrus Gray, Mr. Jai Blamo, and your host, William McGill. Heated debate, eye-opening truths.
Then Burkina be take over your place. Then who are you? But we'll take our own time to have it resolved, because we don't want people to harm you people. So in solving those kind of problems, you have to take your time to solve it. Because when we solve problem that will be a harm to you, I mean, we have done no problem. So we must solve it in a way that it will not be a harm to you people, so all of us can be together. So I will join him. We will see what to do. Because they think they're not only your problem. Even in Maryland, the Burkinabes are there too. Right? Yes. We've been hearing it. What are the kind of things that we lawmakers are supposed to stay on? To tell the president, say the other action, when you not take it, we will not do the other one. Exactly. But my brother, when you not join president, you will not steal. Because president are rule. So most of our people finish joining president. So it's hard for us to talk for you. Yes. Because in the house, majority take the day. Yes. We'll talk all the things they want to talk. The reason why I can cancel and talk it is because I want the Liberian people to know that I talk. Yes. So tomorrow when you're Joshua, I say, no, we can't put you together because you get talk for all. Yeah. And you see the difference? Yeah. I know when I want to talk, we'll not go nowhere. But when the time for you to investigate, you will say, we'll put you there. Why you were talking, you didn't talk? Yeah, exactly. The problem is all around. Yeah. Then the people go back to Burkina. But we have to take it in a way that it will not affect you. Yeah? So if the Rewaji representative, the Maryland County representative, the Grand Chile representative, all up put together, we join them. You know what happened? When Joseph Baga bring the paper, will not pass it. We say go and solve that problem before we pass the paper. Yeah. Very good. But some of the people you have brought, they have become an embarrassment to you. Yes. Yes. Because they don't want to tell president, say, oh, forget about the poor man. When the time we will go talk to them. And like bro, put to ourselves our own problem. Yes. You don't know where we're taking the stolen money from, but when you come give it to you, then you vote for us. Then how will we solve the problem now? 2029, we will tell your lawmaker and a causing problem for your in the country. We'll tell you who are those people. Okay. And we'll tell them, say, when they bring the money, eat it like your money. Yes. The money will steal in like your own, bring it to you. Yeah. Eat it. Now vote against them. So, who's the most senior person among you? He's not enforcing the law, then where the problem can come from. Because you say this in your own country, then Burkina be take over your place. Then who are you? but we will take our own time to have it resolved because we don't want people to harm you people. So in solving those kind of problems, you have to take your time to solve it. Because when we solve problem that will be a harm to you people, that means we have not solved no problem. So we must solve it in a way that it will not be a harm to you people, so all of us can be together. So I will join him. We will see what to do. Because they think not only your problem. Even in Maryland, the Burkinabes are there too. Right?
Yes.
We've been hearing it. But are the kind of thing that we lawmakers are supposed to stay on. To tell the president, say the other action, when you not take it, we will not do the other one. But my brother, when you not join president, you will not steal. Because president are rule. So most of our people finish joining president. So it's hard for us to talk for you.
Yes.
Because in the house, majority take the day.
Yes.
We talk all the things they want to talk. The reason why I can cancel and talk it is because I want the Liberian people to know that I talk.
Yes.
So tomorrow when you're Joshua, or you say no, we can't put you get it because you get tough for all.
Yeah.
And you see the difference?
Yeah.
I know my
so much and want that way to political power. And they think they can get away with it. So we just lie and say anything, 25 million, 16 billion, we just lie, people die. I mean, men like me, people trying to say I can kill human beings. I mean, can you imagine all the people who know me, men like me, people look at me and say I can kill. Some people, so because of that, some people look at my profile in the public and say, you know, they don't know, because they don't know me personally. They just see why is all the vengeance against this woman. Maybe you hear something. Even my chief of staff just died. And people have the audacity to even believe that I can kill Cletus Noah. That's how evil this country has become. And the politics have become destructive. So those of us who are there, we have texting. Me, I have very texting. I was born for political battle. Don't get me wrong. This is my field. Yo! The other problem they brought the auditors there. I mean, all the lies. That's how Koji got central. Koji is harmless. Jefferson Koji. I've known him from baby. He can do no harm. But today, Koji is on the human rights section. The human rights section is not like even the corruption section. When American put out a section, the human rights came from Russia. That mainly is what the Russian abuse is the most dangerous section. You put Jefferson Koji on the human rights version of that section, we gotta fight the they would have fight and get him out of there. So what happened was that there was a barrage of propaganda every day confronting all US government. And we were sitting here, I was sitting here dealing with urbanization and focus the economy of Colombia. I'm kidding myself with IMF. The guys are burying us on our side. By the time we went there to fight the minister, my damn it's been here. I mean, one of the reasons why we lost this election is there were Liberians who there's a fraction of Liberians. I mean, 17,000 separating the two parties is negative. You can see that the country split evenly. But the stubborn Liberians who were made to believe and lie to that we took NGO jobs away, that it was because of President Weir that the economy was declining. I don't care you gave them $50 million. They wanted this experiment to see what would happen after a George Weah was not president. They made a difference for the Union Party. They are the most frustrated and the most disappointed now because they know deception took them away from the reality. Yes. So that is what we have to deal with now. So, the people lie on the city's administration so much and want their way to political power. And they think they can get away with it. So we just lie and say anything, 25 million, 16 billion, we just lie, people die. I mean, men like me, people trying to say I can kill human beings. I mean, can you imagine all the people who know me, men like me, people look at me and say I can kill. Some people, so because of that, some people look at my profile in the public and say, you know, they don't know, because they don't know me personally. They just see why is all the vengeance against this woman. Maybe you hear something, even my chief of staff.
So we would like to say a pleasant good evening from Liberia, and it's a wonderful time to be back on this platform. This is TV. We coming to you live from uh, our Facebook page and as well as our YouTube as well. So if you are there, you can just follow us, share the live to as many people as you can. Sorry for the delay. We like to apologize. Let me say good evening to Mr. Abu and welcome to the program today.
Thank you so much. A pleasure that we are here tonight again to bring you issues on training activities in the country, Liberia. And we want to say welcome to all of our viewers and our listeners around the globe. And we look forward to your interaction, listening to us. And just to tell you, everything we say here are all our own personal opinions, and we represent Waste TV in Liberia, which is an online television. Thank you, Willem.
Okay, uh, great, great to have you back, and I hope that you're doing well now after you felt ill. So great that we have you back. So, Mr. Abu, let's look at some other issues today concerning this long-awaited stand protest situation. We had the protest on let's say today, and which we saw initially should have lasted for 3 days, but it finally took place on today with so many other situations happening. One could say it was very, very peaceful. Yes, indeed, it was. And how do you see the protest as you follow up on the situation today, Mr. Abu?
Thank you so much. The protest organized by Stand and, according to them, other organizations who we were really trying to see forward, but they said it was a citizens' protest. That was very good because it lies within their own rights as citizens to protest and to discuss issues, to have an opportunity to tell the government what is going well and what is not going well. And I think I commend the organizers. The protest was very peaceful. And why do I say it was very peaceful? Because the guidelines that were placed by the police or the government and the protest organizers were all carried out, either fully or but just very close to being fully carried out, because there were not many incidents of people doing things outside of the agreement. And I think it was really peaceful. Another thing is whether it was successful is another thing. It's left with the organizers, because sometimes you talk about protests, you want to say, oh, okay, we're able to gather together, we're able to march in the streets, we're able to reach somewhere. But they talk about presenting a petition to the government. And I think we still have this problem in Liberia where we say presenting a petition to the government, we still believe that it must be handled or handed over to the president, who is the head of government. It cannot
Uh,
always be
Mr.
like this.
Abu, let me just hold you there quickly and come with this question. You witnessed the protests and comparing June 7, 2019 protest that was being organized by political commentator Henry P. Costa. How can you compare, this protest to the lack of Henry Costa?
Well, one good thing about it is that both of them were protests. The differences would be the number of people that participated in both protests are not near in numbers, especially the geographical inclusion, because the June 7 people came from especially the adjoining counties of Montserrat and even maybe beyond to participate, and in Monrovia. But as of today, we saw there were not that many people really. The only time you really saw a crowd, it was when everybody was gathered now on Capitol Hill. Then we really saw the crowd. Outside of that, organizing, well, we see that the June 7 was more organized because it was many organizations that were realistically operating, and they felt that they worked together and they raised money to do this, and they were having cooperation with a lot of people as compared to this new compared to today's protest, where many people will say, well, what is the need to protest? What's the need to protest? The government has just been in power for about 1.5 years, and you cannot give them chance. You are ready to evaluate it and go into a protest with them. So a lot of people were flat-footed and they did not want to participate. And another thing today is that the protest, they said it was a national protest. Okay, I agree, because we have people from every geographical location based in Monrovia or based in Montserrat County participating. However, if we look at some of the things that happened today, even in the great nuclear town where we have the people of the masses normally reside, the place like Logantown and West Point, we hardly saw a lot of people coming from there. We did not see them in mass coming from those places. As compared to the June 7th protest, you saw people coming in mass from those places, from different locations around Monrovia. You could see the Ghana'sville group coming. You could see the Logantown, the Nuclear Town, Jamaica Road group, all of them, Congo Town, all of them coming. But today, I can frankly tell you, I sat in America and just watched every network look who that were carrying this protest live, in addition to individuals who also had their own live podcast. What I saw there was that, being very frank with you, is that we did not have a crowd. I think they did not have a cooperation. And I think everybody normally, the organizers maybe thought they were going to get a large crowd of CDC, which is the opposition political party members, coming over. So where they were looking at as a main place of assembly was the CDC headquarters. Yes, there were people there, but that is not the crowd that we expect when CDC says they are coming out. It looks like at some point, the organizer, the head organizer, Moba Malu, who had resigned from CDC before, from his chairmanship, maybe from membership of CDC, he wants to use this protest to return to CDC. But at this time, I think the CDC people did not give him the chance, even though there were few hierarchy of CDC who came in, but later they all disappeared.
You stated that he wanted to use this protest to get back, to the CDC, and STAN is said to be a civil society organization. How can you fit in with the both? How can Mr. Moba Molu, now wants to switch up his flow from being a civil society organization to a political institution?
That would have been maybe some of the things that he thought he could do. Knowing Moba Mwalo, he's always been organizing civil society groups, and the civil society groups he organizes are not little groups that are doing development activities in communities. And this, most of the time, his civil society groups he organizes are those ones that either are ready to fight against the government of the day, instead of really having a group that exists after he has he has really gained what he wants to gain. He had one before. Later, he went into CDC. Now he's out of CDC. He's forming another one. I don't know where in the end he will go. But for today, I don't think he was able to take a lot of people out of CDC to come and join him into STAND. So I think he has to use another strategy. Maybe have an organization that is carrying on development in communities instead of just challenging government that government should be doing development alone. We should also do these things.
Uh, there was 2 weeks ultimatum given to President Joseph Boakai in terms of responding to the petitioner's petition. Uh, how do you see that? Do you actually think it was prudent enough that the president be given 2 weeks to respond to these people who came out to protest, claiming that a lot of other issues have happened in the country?
Just a verbal pronouncement is not a way to inform or to notify this government or to notify a government. A verbal pronouncement. This was why when the organizers decided to put this thing together, they wrote the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice and the presidency are two different groups, two different offices. But the Ministry of Justice is responsible for the security, and they were able to work along with them. One thing I wanted to know is that when they wrote the letter to the Justice Ministry, did this organization stand? Did it write a letter to the Ministry of State stating that we are having a protest on this day and we have a petition to present to the president so that the Minister of State or the Minister of State will put that into the schedule of the president? But I really think it did not happen, because that is why when they were having the protest, the president was busy elsewhere. Now, because they found out that they erred in that particular issue or incident, so they decided to say, okay, we give you 2 weeks. What is it 2 weeks for? Are they going to come back to ask for it? Because I can definitely say they had a petition. The petition itself was wet. The person who read the petition was fighting to see to see the letters, to be able to read it loudly. Okay, so most of it was like ad-libbed, that they had to read what, because they were the one who wrote it. Okay, so I mean, maybe they just decided to go to email this petition, or sometimes to put in the mail to come. But that petition they brought today got wet in the rain, and I can tell you from my own assessment, the protest failed.
The president, welcoming who I saw the president coming from another program, and do you think that was smart enough, if I can see, from the president to not go around the motion today, going to cater to other activities that are essential for the growth and development of the country? And again, in that program, the president stated that these protesters, out of what they've written, are all lies, and Liberia is moving forward.
The president is very prudent, and he believes in dealing with Liberia on an equal footing, whether opposition party or not. This protest, we cannot say that the president did not want this protest to go on. He understands the rights of the people. This is why when he allowed the Justice Ministry to work with them, and they were able to go through to have a gentleman agreement as to where to go and where not to go in this protest. However, the organizers fail to do some things because they do not understand protocol, which just as said earlier, that the Ministry of State is different from the Ministry of Justice. So they should have written a letter to the Ministry of State and say that we are going to be presenting a protest petition to the president, and let the Ministry of State tell them a particular schedule. But just dealing with the Justice Ministry, it was insufficient for them to say that they wanted to give that petition to the president. However, when I even saw them at the Capitol building, members of the legislature, which is another branch of government, equal also as the president, equal also as the executive branch, they came forward to receive the petition, because through them, it would have maybe easily reached to the president, because the members of the legislature are members representing the various constituencies in the country. So therefore, if they came to receive it, they should have easily given it to them and make sure that it reaches to the president. But when they came, they said they didn't want to give it, and rather they started throwing stones. As I saw on the telecast, I saw them throwing stones, that none of the legislators could even go closer to the gate where they said they were reading the petition. So I still stand on the ground to say that this petition, that made this whole protest, was just a flaw. It was just another opportunity for the rain to beat some people. I saw some officials of CDC initially in the crowd coming towards the mansion, coming towards Capitol Hill. I did see Akaris Gray. I did see Ko Changa, who is the chairman for CDC. I also saw Alvin Wisse. I also saw, I mean, many of them. But when they got to the Capitol building, they all disappeared. It looks like they saw that it was really wrong what they were doing, or the protocol did not represent, maybe because people would have misconstrued it to say that it was a CDC. But you guys are saying it's not a CDC. How come we got a CDC chairman? The ruling chairman of CDC is there presently, and we got other officials from CDC that are also participating, but you say it's not a CDC. So when they found out that this wouldn't have been something that would represent them, so they decided to adopt. And I wouldn't have seen Carlos Gray, who just left the Capitol building as a representative, going there to present a petition for what he would have done, coming down there, standing in front of his former colleagues to give them petition again to tell them government is not doing this when he had an opportunity. And he would have been the wrong thing. Just as I listened to many other people, everybody did say that, okay, the protest is a good idea, but the messengers for the protest are not the right people. Akaras Gray protested before while he was a representative. He worked on LU campus with people behind him. He did a lot of mischief situation there. And how could he go today again to say he's going to protest for something government is not doing? And again, they have had the time to continue to mislead the young people, just using the situation of, there are no jobs. Oh, the suffering is too much. And I've continued to tell you, suffering will always be in Liberia. As long as people are not ready to do what they're supposed to do to help their country, rather they want the country to do everything for them. We're not going to put jobs on the street. When you even put all the jobs in the street, many of them are not qualified to work. So I still believe that today the protest cannot be compared in terms of crowd, in terms of organization, in terms of the commitment of the people. You cannot say that protest was even near the June 7th. And I can tell you it was misorganized, because let's imagine the protest was for July 17th up until 12 o'clock, while the telecast was still filming Moses Moba Molu's house or gate. We have had less than 40 people there up until 11 o'clock. If you had just imagined when they said June 7th, at about 8 o'clock in the morning, you saw people already marching onto where Costa lived, up to where the organizers live. But Mama Molo, the chief organizer, at his house, up until 12 o'clock, you could not see up to 40 or 50 people there, So he was on the phone, basically calling all the Zogo centers to tell them to come out, still making them to feel that the government has done wrong to them. That was what he did. So the protest started late. And what happened to them again, unfortunately, there was a divine intervention, because I think God is working along with the current government. God is working with Ome Bwakai. So what happened? Heavy downpour of rain. They felt that they could defy the rain. Yes, they stayed in the rain. Yet there were many people who did not want to be in the rain. Many things really worked against them. But because they were not prepared, and they are still not prepared to act as a government as they did in their 6 years, they still want to feel that they can correct people who are doing things that a government is supposed to be doing. You cannot correct your teacher when you are always making a D and F grade.
Okay. That is it, Mr. Abu, and we were out there. There were several other concerns that was being raised in the petition, and these protesters, headed by the chairman of STEM, Moluba Molu, requested for the dismissal of several other government officials that they think have been corrupt and have taken government money into their personal use. They mentioned Police RG Gregory Common and Councillor Cooper Kura, several other government officials that are currently in government. What do you think about these concerns, and how do you see those kind of concerns being raised by the lack of the chairman, Molba Malu, who is the lead organizer of today's protest?
These may be concerns and allegations that they may not have proof for. One government institution that normally people give tip-ups to that begin to investigate cases of alleged corruption is the Anti-Corruption Commission. I think those should be things that should be presented to the Anti-Corruption Commission, to the LACC. Molba Molo should direct those things to them. The president has not failed to act on anything of people who are being corrupt, and he's not taking it. Just as he said, if you come in the government as a rascal, it's not going to reshuffle you. That's what he said recently. And we are still looking at it. In the most recent trends, you find out that he has been suspending ministers. He has been suspending officials in government who are being involved in who are being alleged to be involved in malfeasance and sometimes some corrupt practices. They still need to be investigated. Okay? So they are saying that the president must take the same action against these people. No. Investigation must reach to a certain area. Once you have not found out that there is a probable cause for this person to be relieved of their post, sometimes you decide to just leave them until we reach to that probable cause. But if they are not there, just as I told you, they ran the government for 6 years. Molba Molo, who is a party chairman, who was the party chairman, what did he do? Writing to agencies of government, sending 50 names, sending 25 names, sending 30 names, getting them to employ them, which was these are partisans that need to be employed. Is that how a government should operate? That's what they did, and they wanted to happen this trip, and it's not happening. So definitely, we see their concerns, lack of knowledge of how government operates, ignorance. This is what is happening. And we are looking at them. They could not succeed. This is why the whole post-protest. Everybody we talked to before this protest said, oh, the government just took over. It is 1.5 years now we are going into. So why can't we wait and we go about 3 years and we see that the promises that they have made, they are not keeping to their promise? But they did not wait for that. At July 17, they are doing the protest at a time when the government is busy bringing in new investors, signing new contracts, making changes in everything that is happening. Okay, having investors coming into the country. Look at the different regulatories that we have in the country. This time, LEC is not the only producer of electricity in Liberia. We have other agencies. When you come to telecommunication, it's not only Telecom that is doing it now, not only Lone Star and Orange. We also have other people providing services in internet connectivity, etc. We have regulatories that are doing a lot of things. So how do we expect you that was there, all you were interested in, people are having their tenure positions. We have put them in tenure positions. But those who went today and they said they wanted to protest, after, especially the CDC guys, after they found out that they were treading the wrong path, all of them just dissipated into the crowd. Can you imagine the chairman of CDC, who should be a national figure, going to a protest with mask, covering his head so people cannot make him out? So it means that everything they did today was not genuine, but it looks like they did not see it in the eyes of the government. The security was very good. They work alongside with them, even though there were so few mishaps. I still believe the protest went ahead. In the end, the protest failed because there was no petition presented to anybody. It was just another loud noise of talking and talking and talking as they go on different networks every day, cursing Ome Bwakai, cursing this person. That's all that happened today. But it did not make any impact. So what are they giving the ultimatum of 14 days for? 14 days to do what? What do they want the president to do in 14 days? They really said nothing today in that protest. The government doesn't have it. It got wet. So if they can send it as an email, maybe government will look at it as one of the documents to be considering as something coming from a large group of nationals or citizens of Liberia. So we will still continue to look at things. The protest fails, and we know that in future there may be other people who will want to organize protests. We just want to tell them, admonish them, please organize yourself better. Just know that Liberia is not for you alone. Right now, we have peace. We have some people who believe that we have to be in chaos before they can have recognition. We have some people who had money yesterday, and just within 1.5 years, the money is finished. They are no longer relevant. Nobody is looking at them. They have to be crying and making this loud noise so that people can look at them, so that they can become relevant. No, you are not going to be relevant just because your name is Mr. John or your name is Mr. Joe. When you did not play your game well, you are going to be out of the game. So at this point, those who plan to have more protests, the government has an open arm. You can come in, have your protest. But just remember, as we always said, where your rights end, that's where the next man's right begin. Police Inspector Gregory Coleman, everybody feels, oh, he is doing the wrong thing. No, we are still in the war fever of Liberia, where when one person screams, you see the entire group coming. People don't run away from gun sound this time. When you shoot a gun, instead of people running away, you see all of them coming to see where the gun sound is coming from. And we are still in that thing. You are not going to look at the police inspector as somebody who is bringing in chaos. He did his work very, very well, I can tell anybody. Because the first thing was organizing. He was able to bring them on the table. Yeah, let's come. We are not saying that you must not protest. Yes, we agree. It is your right. But come, let's sit down and talk. What we need to know who are the organizers. We need to know which streets you are going to be on, where you are going to be, where in particular you will be, so that we'll be able to cover these areas. We don't have police all over the country, So today's issue, just the organizing of it, brought a big toll on the resources of the police, because we had to withdraw. They had to withdraw police from other communities just to make sure they come and guide you people to help you. Helping you today, please don't take it to be anything bad, but it was helping you against those who might have had intention to come into the group to cause chaos or to cause mischief. The police inspector general did the greatest work of today. I can tell you, kudos to you, Mr. Coleman. I've not met you before. I don't know you, but I know you did a very, very great work. Just from the beginning, you and the justice minister, you organized it. You were able to bring them to the table. That was your first success. So when you brought them to the table, you agreed. Up until yesterday, people feel that when they say protest means come and be unlawless. Come and be unlawful. Yes, you could be unlawful, yes. But anything about protest, once you do it, knowing your rights very much, I think that could be a very good thing. But what happened when police inspector came out and said, well, we have told all other laws remain constant. Motorbike people, please don't get on Tubman Boulevard. You stay in the communities, don't come there, because the motorbike guys would have come in the street and alley, they are leading the convoy of the protesters. So they were able to lead them behind. So as long as that thing happened, many of them did attempt to come out, but when they were attempting, they knew that it was a violation of the laws of our country. And because of that, many of them would have come across police barricades where they could not allow them to go through these barricades. And that was the fight. That was the work of the police, to ensure that punishing people for crimes is not the only thing we have to do. We have to prevent you from committing a crime. That's what happened to people exactly. So we can tell you that today's protest, yes, it went ahead. It delayed some people. We want to apologize to the Liberian people. Those are your brothers and sisters who were misguided. Some of you were supposed to go on some interview today to get your new job, but you couldn't go because of this protest. Some students were to go take their tests or exams, but they couldn't go because of this. Some brothers or sisters were supposed to go to their work. Some people are private people. They work on private issues. They couldn't go today because of this protest. And based on history of protests in Liberia, it always ended there. But today's protest was really, 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 really a failure. And the police inspector worked so much, he and his team worked so much to make sure that that protest ended before 5 o'clock. Even before government offices closed, the protest ended. Even though we had given them the 8 hours from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, people would be in offices to accept your petition. Yet, they didn't start the protest until about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And before 4 o'clock, the protests were over. That's why my daddy used to tell me how long John stayed in the army. Let him come again. They come again, there's going to be another protest. How long are they going to do it? You know, some of them come out to create a small screen because they want to run and seek refuge in outside of Liberia, and they want their refugee status to be accepted, you know. So when we really have no issues, Ko Janga, why would you be protesting? Why? Because what? You guys made enough money, bought properties all over, did everything you could do. I don't have proof to say that you stole money. I can only say that you made enough money. How you made it is between you and the job you did and your God. Okay? The same as a Akarescree. You made enough money to the point that you even had to go abroad just to go marry. You know, you did this. You know. Alvin, we say, you guys made enough money. Every day, when CDC had a meeting, Alvin would say we could stand there and use 10 adjectives together. Some of us who even have degree in English, we didn't understand some of those adjectives he would use. Yet he was the guy. Every occasion you go to, you see him dividing cigar. Give a cigar to people. You know, those are the guys. 1 year after, they cannot afford cigarette if they could afford cigar the last time. Now you come today, you put yourself in a protest that you really had no reason. You are not the one that is suffering. You shouldn't be crying for suffering at this time. But you represent the people. Yes, when you were working, when it was your time, there were more suffering until the people were singing the song that there were more suffering. You see. Tell you, they never saw suffering like that. Just imagine, some of you who are artists, you're not even able to make songs. To make songs with the name of Joseph Boakai in it, alleging him or alluding him to corruption. As how the numerous songs in all languages, down to religious music, was coming, telling us how the 6-year government, the immediate past 6-year government was corrupt and what you guys did to people. Then you come out today, you say you want to protest because you don't have jobs, because people are suffering. They're suffering. Yes, we agree, people are suffering, but you must also agree that some of the sufferings did not start today. It came from yesterday. And because of what you did yesterday, you were not able to organize yourself to say, well, the tides have changed. The tides have changed. So let me do something better for myself. Some guys are riding their motorbikes. They are doing good. They are doing okay. We have to organize a protest better the next time if we could even have a reason to protest. Because you did not have a reason to protest at this time. The issues you are raising, yes, they may be going on. But over the period, most of them will be handled. President Boakai has not told you that he's not going to fight corruption. He is. And you are seeing it. Some time ago, you could say, oh, it is just an allegation. You cannot fire or you cannot dismiss or suspend somebody because of allegation. No. President Boakai believes that if you look in the Constitution, the appointed officials are at the whims and caprices of the president. If I appoint you and I hear and I smell and I just have a smear of corruption on your name, I remove you. Because when we finally come to find out that indeed you are culpable to it, removing you, you must be going to jail. So we take you off the job because we don't want you to remain on the job and use the resources of the job to fight the case. You may change documents. You may influence witnesses. So the best thing to do is to take you off the office. Everything pertaining to that ministry or to that agency or to that office, you give it to other people. And you sit down while you go through your investigation. This has not happened before in Liberia. And this is what is happening now. In the last 6 years, government, they told us, Liberia, everybody know one another. So this means when you take an action against someone, another person is going to come. Our president is increasing in age. At that time, we believe that the actions that he takes are not regrettable. Afterwards, what will he do? He's not regretting anything. Liberia is Liberia. He told you Liberia first. Liberia first. Liberia first. And if you think you as a minister in government, you as an official in government, you're going to be changing figures. You're going to be corrupt. The president is not sleeping. The other day I heard Representative Koluba saying, this time the president can see, but he can't hear. Okay. Before he became president, you said he could not see. He was sleeping ponyon. Okay. You think he cannot see? The president, this time, he sees beyond what you can see. Don't mind the little eyes. The president don't use glasses like me. I'm young. I still use glasses. But the old man is not using any glasses. Coming to the protest today, can you imagine? Akaros Gray was standing in front of he was standing right before the gate, the Capitol building gate, that he used to have bodyguard walking with him inside there. Today he went there to present. When he saw his colleagues coming, Akaros Gray, he jumped into the crowd. In 10 seconds time, Akaros Gray was lost. You couldn't see him. Baba Molo go bring one old truck. That the old truck he was standing in to come and address our representatives. Now that old truck you wanted the president to come receive petition from you. Told you guys made a mistake. The next time anybody who is having a protest, please understand the difference between the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of States and Presidential Affairs, the Protocol Division. What you need to do after you write to the Justice Ministry to give you permission to protest and work along with them as to what kind of protest you want. Where are you going? They're not going to ask you for the reasons because your reasons are already all on the social media. We know why you want to protest. But before you protest, we want to know where are you going to stand? Who are you bringing out? Then, if you're not standing in the right place, the Justice Ministry, the police will tell you, no, don't stand here. They play not too good for you to stand. Come on the other side. They'll show you the right place to stand. That is what Gregory Coleman did, as police IG did. He was able to work with you. But you forgot to know that these are not the offices that control the president. You wanted a July 7 protest. 3 months before that, write to the Ministry of State. We are having a protest on July 7. And we are having a petition. And we want to present this petition to the president. But in everything that you wrote, you said you will present a petition to the government. Is the legislative branch not part of the government? They did come. But when they were coming, all of you ran away. You ran away. Don't feel that you were insulted or you were disregarded by the president. When you were doing your protest, the president was busy at another program, which had no influence on your program. He could not leave that present because you did not write. The protocol addresses people who write to invite the president. So that technology group wrote the president and they approved. Nobody would have said to really tell you that President Bouaka is not afraid of protests and he's not afraid of you guys. This is why he approved it. He agreed. I'm not going out of town. I'm not going to stay in my house. The program is going to be held at the ministerial complex. He was staying there when you guys came and passed. You saw that the president was at the ministerial complex, and you passed and went way to Capitol Building or Capitol Hill to go present petition to him because you voted for him, so you wanted him to run behind you to go collect the petition from you. Well, we do not do business like that. What you do the next time, you have your wet petition because it rained on that petition. I saw you trying to drive the people with somebody was wiping with a shake to make sure that it's going to be legible for you people. You guys read what you could read. And most of the places that you read were ad-libbed because you were saying something from your head. It wouldn't have even been legible on that paper. So in the end, we're asking, for me, from my personal point, just go send an email, put that whole petition in email and send it to the president and send it to the presidency. It will reach to him. The legislators that you didn't want them to receive it, you could also CC them so they can help to talk about it. But your 14-day ultimatum you gave, I don't know what a 14 days for. Are you saying that in 14 days you're going to come back? You're welcome, my brother. You are welcome. The way the rain flogged the people today, the way the rain beat the people, how many of them going to come on your 14 day? When the 14 day, you didn't even announce the date. You just say 14 days. When 14 days will finish? When your 14 day? Is it 14 working days or 14 calendar days? You know, you should be able to tell people, Mr. Moba, you're playing a small book. 14 working days or 14 calendar days. When does this 14 day end? So we'll all work together with you to make sure. If you want a job, try to apply. You're educated. I'm not too sure how much education you have. Try to apply for a job. You will get a job. Mr. Molu, you will get a job. Apply for a job. You get it. You are now becoming a prominent figure in Liberia. Do not let your gains go into the waters or into the gutters. You have done too much. You've been able to organize people. Mr. Malu, it is your time. Work with the people. ELWA Junction, we could not even see people passing there. We didn't see people from Painesville. Few people came to your house. 25 to 30 people came to your house in Congo. And at that time, the president was at the ministerial complex. You came and passed. You say you are going to Capitol Building. Yes, Capitol Building is his office. But at the same time, you know, the president doesn't have to go to work every day. Just how if you were a civil servant, you have holidays. You also have time to do a lot of things. You have sick days that you will not go to work. These are all part of the civil service law. You have holidays. So if the president did not go to the mansion today to work, it did not mean that he's afraid of Moba Molo. But he has already done his engagement for the day, which was to go and participate in that program at the ministerial complex. And Mr. Molo, again, don't forget, at the next protest, please make sure, if you say you want to interact with the president, respect our president. Respect our president. please write to them an official letter to the Ministry of State declaring your intention to present a petition to him. Then his protocol will work on it to determine how feasible it will be, whether he has a schedule for that day, and you'll be put into the schedule. But because you did not do it, that was the first failure. And because knowing that we have very clever people in government, people who know how things work in government, they could not teach you it. Nobody advised you on it. They knew that you did not do it, but they could not tell you. Because in the past, everybody would just turn around and come and stand, then George will come out to meet them. Okay. But this president is not going to have people just walking into the mansion as how you want to walk there. That was the first failure. You disrespected the president. You kept screaming his name, knowing that you never even invited him. You never even sent him a letter to tell him that you are going to bring a petition to him. Divine intervention came in. And that divine intervention made sure that it rained cats and dogs. All your petition got wet. Go email that petition. They will receive it. But you're not going to have another platform to present that petition. And because of shame, you decided to say you gave 14 days ultimatum. 14 what? Working days or 14 calendar days? We need to know this. Mr. Malu? We're still waiting. My throat is getting dry, just talking about this Mobile Molo issue. The failed protest. They never informed the president that they were going to come. Number two, poorly organized. At the last minute, up until 12 o'clock, we couldn't see, even at the home of the chief organizer, we couldn't see quite 40 people. Everybody. He was just on the phone calling all the Zogo centers, Zimbabwe, those in Zimbabwe on Tupuru, those in the other places, those ones at the CDC headquarters. But he forgot to know that he has lost track with CDC long time. How sure are we that it wasn't even their big boss that told them that man protest, you might not go there. That man want protest, let him go and he protest alone. And that could be the thing. So after coming from Congo Town, the back road, he came, reached to CDC headquarters. He met a crowd there. But he forgot to know this crowd has already been warned not to follow him. He passed with his little group. Famoma Junction, met another small group there. Some followed him. But how far could they go? The guys with the motorbikes have already been warned. Put your motorbike in the street, it will be seized and you'll be arrested. So, better they couldn't follow him because he was depending on motorbike convoy. How could he go? The group, the CDC guys that were miscarried, they never knew. Ko Janga. We said, and some of the other people came. They met him on 12th Street. And they all turned around and went back to the Capitol building. While they were going, more information was floating in and nothing was happening. In the end, they got a Capitol building. Marvin Murray said he wanted to give his petition to the government of Liberia. I don't know how many pages, 20-page petition. 1 page for each government agency. Because they wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. They took almost 45 minutes reading it. Not that it was very, very, very long, but because the rain has beat them and the papers became drenched, they couldn't even read their own petition. They couldn't read their petition. It was just like that. Akaros Gray could not look at himself. He couldn't see himself standing in Florida, standing before the legislative gate, that when he used to reach there in a car, before he entered, they opened the gate. Bodyguard behind him. This today that crowd was behind him. Look at how little that group is. I can count, they're not up to 400 are there. All noise. Talk noise. The next time you want to organize protests, you must know who you're organizing the protest against. You know, President Joseph Boakai, he likes to eat his soup or drink his soup when it is cold. Very, very cold. And all of you, you have been waiting for this day. How long it took for you to plan for July 7th? First, July 15, 16, 17. Where are the caskets? Where are the caskets? You say you are going to have a symbolic burial of people who were killed or people who were maimed during the war. Where are the caskets? On the 15th,
Mr. Abu, these guys said that today was a prelude, and if President Boakai cannot be able to listen to their petition, they are going to regroup and come back in their numbers, where they will come out from all locations across the out from everywhere of the country to tell the president that they are actually tired.
Monrovia has a population of more than 1 million. Today, you could not command up to 5,000. I'm just overestimating. Over 5,000. You couldn't command that group to come out. The first thing, you have confused the people in 14 days. Which 14 days? 14 calendar days or 14 working days? Can you tell me, William, did he say how many 14 days are? Is it 14 working days? No volume.
Mr. Abu, let me just play this clip coming in from Senator Momo Cyrus. He was one of those lawmakers that were rejected by these protesters on grounds that he was willing to receive the petition, and along with Representative Tools as well, and they were actually, rejected. They started throwing stones. So let's play this clip and listen to it as well.
Because this is part of government, but to see them turning around and it is
There have been many presidents of our
the president, we went to committee. The president of the Senate have instructed me as chairperson of the National Security Committee. And since it has some security implications, the government received a petition and on behalf of the Senate, and then she can now forward the petition to the executive. And I thought that was civilized enough, and that was good wisdom on her part to see that the protester at Chucky Stone is happy.
What message are you carrying now? What message are you carrying now?
Well, I've got no information. We are all actors, we are all stakeholders. If as a chair of the National Security petition, we take it to the Senate, the protest, we take it to the Vice President. Of course, there'll be action. The president is magnanimous and very awesome.
What message are you taking back now? How do you describe the
I'm disappointed that we could not carry on this process because of the violent nature that you brought. If we start talking to, how do we dialogue? We start to talk to.
So, Senator, this implies that the Senate will not receive the petition for the protesters.
And we are willing to receive the petition if the legislature is given the opportunity. I have my colleague from the lower house who happy to chair the security committee as well. We are here in full to receive the petition. And I think no, that is not what I'm discussing. I'm discussing how do we move forward. When you have a petition, it's supposed to be received and be acted upon. But if you start with trust tools, I see.
So what's the way forward?
Well, I think they need to reconsider the decisions to start your mission. We are waiting as a government, as our designated government, on protest.
Yeah, so Senator Momo Cyrus is from Lofa County. He was also there at the protest ground, and he was so disappointed in the fact that he left his base at Seju along with Representative Prince Tools from the House of Representatives as well. They came out there to receive this petition, and at the end of the day, these guys started to throw stones. But again, Chairman Moba Malou from STEN, along with some other guys from the CDC, including Avin Wise, and they were telling these guys to stop and they shouldn't be violence. So those are some of the things, and also I'm still trying to get a release. Close to an hour ago, there was a release from the CDC standard bearer George Manawea concerning to this protest, thanking every Liberian that came out to show support in terms of these protests, to call on the government on some of the areas they think they have allegedly failed to abide by the rules of laws and having corrupt officials and other things. Mr. Abu, what do you make of such a release coming in from an opposition leader that concerning this protest?
That release is a charade because we did not hear his voice supporting. We did not hear his voice supporting this protest, calling out his people to come to the protest. Behind the scene, he has said that it was not a CDC thing. He is talking as a former president and as a George Weah. He said that. But I could say including him and any other person who participated in the program, in this protest today, that it failed. Now, coming to Senator Cyrus into this program, I have told you earlier that this group, they are in their earlier pronouncement while they were preparing for this protest, they did tell us that they were going to present a petition to the government. How long will these organizers, including Moba Molo, know that the House of Legislature is part of the government? If they said they wanted to see the president and they breached protocol, they did not go as what they should have done to be able to get the president to receive it, they should give it to the legislators. The legislators represent every constituency in that country, and they should be respected. I mean, the protesters brought in disrespect in many ways. First, they disrespected the executive branch, and now they disrespected the legislative branch. How? They said they were not going to deal with them because they wouldn't want to give it to them. Number two, they did not inform the presidency that they were going to bring it. They were going to present a petition to the presidency. As I've said, informing the Justice Ministry doesn't mean that you are informing the president, because the Justice Minister should have even been the one to go there. He should have even been the one to go there to receive it from there. He should have been there. But because they did not inform or they did not give a notice to the presidential ministry, where the president
don't you think that these protesters weren't taken seriously by the government, in as much as their letters was presented to the justice minister? It should be something that the minister should be able to communicate to the executive, and making sure that they can be able to receive any petition when there's need. Do you think that they weren't taking these protesters seriously?
They did take the protesters seriously. This is why they decided to work with them. And I'm very sure President Boakai is aware of it. Don't let nobody make you feel that we do not have an imperial presidency. The justice is something that had to do with the security of the nation. So whatever happened, every information that was coming out of what meetings they had with the with the organizers, what were the organizers' role and everything, the president was briefed on it. But there was one thing: it is not the justice minister that determined the president's calendar or schedule. It is the Ministry of State. So they as organizers, President Boakai is their president. They should have written here an official letter and tell him, we are coming, Mr. President. We have this petition. Mr. President is aware of that protest. He was aware and he is still aware. They took them very serious. That is why he allowed it. In past governments, when they did not want you to protest, they know what to do for you not to protest. They knew what to do. It was, even though it was an infringement on their rights, but this government says, no, we'll allow them to protest. But we have to agree on something, because where your rights end, that's where the rights of the next person begin. And at the same time, the Justice Ministry and the police IG, it is their responsibility to provide an avenue for everybody to be protected, both the protesters and those who are not protesting. And they did that today. I can still say I want to give kudos to the police IG. He had a very good working situation that everybody. So can you imagine that there was a time that people wanted to get out of the loop? That is the agreement they had with the police. I think you saw that somewhere when they were stopping them from going to the Capitol building. Some people wanted to throw stones, some people wanted to do some things, and Moba Molo himself came. And Akaras Gray, they came to talk to their friends and tell them, no, you cannot do this. This is not what we agreed to. Because it was agreed and they signed paper that this was what we were going to do. Anything outside of it was going to be a violation of the law. And Moba Molo would have been arrested. And that was what he was afraid of. Moba Molo is another coward that you see around there. He knew that they were violating. So they went there to calm the group down. Tell you, no, we can't do it this way. This is not what we signed for.
Okay. Okay. So, quickly now, let's just run over everything, Mr. Abu, and try to conclude for tonight's presentation, including mainly our focus tonight is on the planned protest that finally took place on today by Stan. Let's finally conclude with this discussion and call it a day, Mr. Abu. Whatever you have to say, let's get your uh, final statements for tonight's presentation.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the Liberian people for being very resolute in upholding the rule of law. I want to be thankful to the police IG for making sure that there were nothing that went out of control. There may have been few skirmishes, but it did not go to the point that mass arrests were going to be made that would make a very big noise in that Monrovia. And I want to thank those people, the Liberians, who believe that this government is just 1.5 years, which is not sufficient for me or for them to evaluate that the government is doing the worst things that they are doing, because they are already comparing them to governments that were there for 6 years or for 12 years. They cannot do that. That is being ingenious to President Bakai's government. You cannot come to school and you only stay first period and half of second period, then I decide to say, well, you have already failed. Your parents will hold me responsible. And the school administration is very unprofessional for me to say you have failed just in 1.5 period, because we got 6 periods to go. So give this government a chance so that they will have a time. But it is good that you guys have already come and determined what is going wrong, or what you are not necessarily that is going wrong, what you are not satisfied with. You have identified what you're not satisfied with. So we are very sure President Bakai listens to people, because this time he can see. Even though you say he can't hear, but he can see. So he listens to you people, and he believes that we should have a rule of law, and we must all continue to work together. This government is going to make the country great. Liberia first, Liberia first, Liberia first. The protest today, I cannot tell you that it went well, but it became a failure because no petition was submitted, because there was divine intervention. When it rained so heavily, they couldn't go through. So we just want to tell Liberian people, we're very thankful to you for holding on your peace, for trusting this government and believing that something better will happen. And we look forward to our protesters that the next time they should do things better in a better way. Their protocol must be followed, and let them ensure that any other protester, if you think that you should give your petition to the president, please make sure that you run a demarcation. Give the Ministry of Justice letter for permission, and then the petition presentation, you must write another letter to the Minister of State. Don't expect the Minister of Justice to be the one to control the president. No, that doesn't happen in Liberia. So please make sure. We want to thank all of those people who decided not to come in the ring today, those people who decided that this is the wrong time, and there were some people who said that the messengers are the wrong messengers. So we want to thank all of you for whatever you did. Bill, I want to thank you. I want to thank Wiz TV, those who are listening to us, our viewers around the world. That is our view, and we say thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abu, and it's been a great pleasure having you on here tonight. So we talk about the protest basically, and you listen to Mr. Abu as he talk more about things that happened during the protest, especially based on his personal opinion and state of view of how he see these situations across Liberia. Until we talk to you, that's gonna be next Tuesday with a fresh edition of the program at the round table. On behalf of the entire team, I'd like to say a pleasant good night and a wonderful weekend as the weekend begins on tomorrow. Thank you for watching. and keep following Wiz TV. Invite more people, share, and keep your comments coming every time we come on here.